Good morning, babies, and welcome to Simply Stacy, where the joy of the Lord is our strength. Well, it's this afternoon. I'm still stuck in the morning. But anyway, babies, I want to talk to my singles today because I just see so much and there's so much going on with the singles. But what I want to say today is doing it God's way is going to be nothing like the world. Nothing like the world. Your whole way of thinking when it goes towards relationships has to be renewed to the way God thinks. Because otherwise, you're going to continue to get ungodly results if you continue to do things in an ungodly way. If you do things like the world, that's ungodly. Because most times people say ungodly, the first thing singles think about is you having sex without being married. No, there's a lot of things that you can do ungodly without just having sex. Just the way you think can be ungodly because you don't picked up the ways of this culture and the way they approach relationships. And I'm here to tell you, baby, as long as you do that, you're not going to get the outcome that you desire according to God. Because some of you babies, you definitely do want good relationships. You're trying to doing everything that you done heard and seen and the way that you understand it and the changing your habits and change your way of thinking. But you need to get in the Word of God for yourself. Learn what a godly man is. Learn what a godly woman is so that you won't go after people or allow people in your life that don't have godly traits. Because if you don't know the attributes of God, if you don't know how a godly woman acts or how a godly man acts, how are you going to know? He said, try the Spirit by the Spirit to see it's of God. How are you going to know something? How are you going to see it? How are you going to understand it? How are you going to know that it's ungodly? How are you going to know that it's ungodly? For one, if you're living godly, you're walking and living it out. So you're going to see that their attributes is not godly because you're walking and living it out. And that's the problem with a lot of people. They're not walking and living it out in their own life. So you're going to stay confused. Because if you're teetering the fence, you'll be easy to go along with somebody else that's teetering on the fence. Thinking that, oh, it's okay. Because it's okay for you to do it in your life. But when you're truly living the things of God and truly walking out God's biblical principles and living in His will and His purpose, it's going to be easy to spot somebody else that's doing the same thing. Because it's written on the tablets of your heart and you're walking it out every day. So when you see somebody else, you're going to know. You're going to be able to try that spirit by the Spirit to see if it's of God. When certain people do certain things, like, no, that ain't God. Mm-mm. It's just like you knowing your colors. If somebody tell you that, oh, that orange is red, like that ain't red, that's orange because you know your colors. That's the same thing with your relationship with God. When you got that true relationship with God and you're doing the will of the Father, when somebody comes to you and they're doing ungodly things or they're acting in ways that's not the attributes of God, you're gonna know it straight off. You're not gonna be confused about it. You're not gonna be led astray about it because you're gonna know that it's not the attributes of God. So, babies, get in there, learn God, learn His way, learn His will when it comes towards relationships. Because this is why a lot of people are confused about these relationships because they really don't know the God they say they serve. They don't even understand how God approaches relationships. They don't even know how they're supposed to act as a godly man and a godly woman. It's not even being taught in the churches. But babes, I just want to let you know because so many people are confused in this area. It's not even really, it's confusion because you don't really understand and you don't have the knowledge. But once you gain the knowledge, you don't have to walk in fear about another relationship. You don't have to second guess, oh, is he a godly man? Is she a godly woman? You're not going to have to second guess that because you're going to have the word to be able to apply to that situation or to that person. You're going to see that the attributes they have are not of God. And it's going to make it simpler for you, easier for you. You'll be able to rest at night. You don't have to go on everybody's YouTube channel, Facebook channel, and try to get the answers because you already going to have the answers. Now, not that God won't, like I know that He's doing with me. Anybody that's listening at me, I am just basically confirmation for you. I am just a doorway for God to walk through to show you himself through me. So when you listen at me, it's going to be certain things that's going to resonate with your spirit. Like, God, you was dealing with me with that. And God, you were just telling me that. It'll be confirming stuff that God already put in your spirit. And then you're going to learn something that's going to move you closer to God. See, if you listen to all these YouTube videos and Facebook videos and it's not leading you closer to a relationship with God, you need to stop watching those channels. You need to stop watching those people. You don't need nothing that's going to be sugarcoating, just comforting your flesh. Because flesh always want to be comforted. It don't want the truth of God because flesh don't want to come under subjection. But whatever God got you listening at somebody, it's going to move you closer in your relationship with God. And sometimes it's not going to be good. You might even get upset because it's trying to take you to another level. It's trying to get you to overcome another devil in your life. He's trying to kill a John in your life. And he might be using me or anybody else to help you get to a place that he wants you to be. And when it comes to relationships, I know that God has ordained this time for me to help singles understand what's going on in their life. And I'm telling you now, be anxious for nothing. Being single is not a curse. I can't reiterate that more. It's not a curse. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. And not that you're not going to want somebody in your life. It's not that you don't want that physical companionship, but you want that thing from God. Because it is a peace that comes with it. I don't care what nobody say. When you are mature and you got God and you're walking out the things of God, it's going to be a peace in your relationship. All the things that you see a lot of these couples go through and talk about, oh, every couple has problems and all these different types of things. A lot of these people don't went the hard knock way because they're immature. They're not letting God in there. They're doing what they want. They're selfish. So they battling. It's like two kids in a playpen, except they're in a house. And they're battling for who's in the head and who got authority. They're battling for, I want this, I want that, I want it done this way, I want it done that way. So they're battling. But with God, God has roles for each and every one of us. He lets you know that in the Word of God. He will teach you how to treat each other. So you won't be vexing each other's spirit. So you won't be arguing and stuff like that. You'll be able to come together and reason together one with each other. And not that you're going to agree on everything, but like I said, you'll be able to reason together. See, a lot of the questions that people have, it's already answered in the Word of God. If you walk out the will of the Father, a lot of things that go on in these relationships will not be going on. It won't even be an issue because you'll be doing it God's way. But when you go against God's way and his will and his purpose, it's going to be hard. Everything on this earth, even the things that man made have a purpose. It's just like, okay, you got a window, you got a door. You can't try to make that window a door. You're abusing the purpose of that window. You can't try to make a door a window and try to make it fit in there. It's just like getting a puzzle and you got the wrong piece and you trying to fit it in that slot, trying to make it go in there. And you'll get some piece that'll seem like it's fitting, but it ain't that good, comfortable fit. That's how some of y'all been with these relationships. It's like a puzzle. You've been trying to fit this piece in your life, but it ain't a comfortable fit because it didn't come from God. You try to make it, force it in there, and it seems like it went in there, but it just won't go all the way down, or it's just looking tough, and you got to break it apart because it's not the piece that really goes in there. And that's how some of you are in your life. God is taking me this way. This is all from God. I'm just flowing with whatever he tell me to tell you at this moment. You're trying to fit pieces in your life that don't belong there. It's not snugly fitting in there. You're trying to make it, force it, force it. And when you go to break it loose, it's tough breaking it loose. It's hard to break it loose. And that's what's going on with some of y'all. Y'all don't force these relationships together. And it's hard to break them loose because you don't put this piece of puzzle in there with you, another piece of puzzle, trying to make it happen, forcing it, trying to make it happen, forcing it. And it looks like, that's a good match. But after you start walking it out and playing it out, like, that ain't a good match. That don't fit. because God didn't put it together. God didn't put it together. You know, it's a big thing out here, and you can agree or don't agree. It doesn't matter. A lot of people say God won't uh, put people together. He don't do that. He don't do that. But what the word say? What He has joined together, that's explanatory. What He has joined together. So there is people that He has joined together. Now you can look at the world. Most people God ain't joined together, and I have really learned that now through my experience in this single season of my life, and I has dealt with me with relationship. There is some relationships you cannot deny that God has brought them people together. He said, "What He has joined together, let no man put asunder." A lot of relationships God has not put together. Now people will say, "Oh, God brought me my husband. God brought me my wife," but it's not true. It's an untruth. They really believe it. They really believe it. And that's what makes it so convincing because they believe it. Anything you believe with your heart, you can convince other people to believe. You see that in the world all over. Some people believe in different things that is dysfunctional, but because they got a heart for it and they really believe in it, it spreads. They can tell people a lie and they'll believe it because it's coming from the heart because they really believe in it. And it has power. It's life and death in the tongue, and it has power when they speak it out and they try to walk it out. But that don't mean it's the truth. There's things that God He has put His hand on. There's things that God has put together. And that's what it is with some of these relationships. God will join you together with somebody. Yes, He will. He'll bring them before you, male and female. Even the men, they don't have to hunt. God will bring wife to you, but you have to know what a wife is. You might get 50, 60, 100,000 women come before you, but you will know that one that's a wife. Every woman that becomes before a man is not a wife. So that's the key for you men. That's the key for you men. The key is when they come before you, you need to know the characteristics of a wife. If you don't know the characteristics of a wife, that's why a lot of you jokers are set up right now with Jezebels and Delilahs because you didn't know the characteristics of a wife. You didn't know it. But if you got in there, you seen sis that want to cook, don't want to clean, barely want to have sex, don't know how to talk to you. Then you realize she ain't a wife, but you need to know that before you go out there making that selection. So when these women come before you, because most men do, they got a array of women. They trying to pick out the one according to what their mindset is. Not really leaning on God. They using their best educated guess is this is the one for me. And most of it is coming out of lust because, like I say, men look with the eyes. So if it's pleasing to his eyes and she got certain characteristics that he like or whatever he don't base it on, that's what he's going with. But that don't mean she's a wife. That don't mean she's a wife. Same thing with the women. A lot of men, they come along. You got to know what a husband is. You got to see if he's got Christ as his head. Because if Christ ain't his head and he's not consulting with his head, he's not honoring his head, he's not respecting his head, he's not being led by his head, how he going to lead you? He's not going to be able to lead you. So all this stuff comes into play when you're waiting on God for your mate. Because you need to know the attributes of a husband and the attributes of a wife. And I want to clean that up even more. You want to know the attributes of a godly husband and a godly wife because it is a difference. So, babes, I just came to encourage you today. I know singles go through a lot. You know, you're waiting on your boo. Some people, that's all your focus. It's like an addiction. So, yield to God, submit to God, your mind, your heart, your soul, your body, and allow Him to join you with your mate. Don't join yourself to somebody and be like that puzzle piece. It ain't fitting, but you're going to try to make it fit. Don't do that. Allow God to join you with somebody. They'll come along. You might be at the 7-Eleven one day. Man of God come, woman of God come. I don't know where it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. But you just need to be prepared by knowing the attributes of a godly woman and a godly man. So when it comes across your path, you know it. You will know it. You will know it. Because there's a lot of people come across your path, but they're not God sent. They're not God sent. And you can tell by their attributes. They move you further away from God than they move you closer to. Because anybody come in your life, if they move you away from God, honey, they got to go. God ain't gonna send you nobody that's gonna cause you to come out of his will, come out of his purpose, not do the things of God, but move you further away from him. God ain't doing that. He's not doing that. He's not gonna give you anybody that's gonna cause you to sin against him. He's not gonna do that. So, baby, just beware. Get in your word. Know what a godly woman is. Know what a godly man is. And as women and as men, I know myself as a woman. I learned what the attributes of a godly woman was. How am I supposed to be acting? How can I apply this to my life? How am I supposed to carry myself as a godly woman? I should be a representation of God that people see a difference in my life, that they know I'm not a woman of this world. Some of you women don't even know how you're supposed to act as a godly woman. That's why you act unseemly. That's why you dress certain ways, you carry yourself certain ways. That's why you debate over all these little worldly issues that you shouldn't even be debating over because you don't know who you are as a godly woman. So that's where you start. Seeking who you are as a godly woman. How you supposed to act? What your attributes supposed to be like? How is your husband going to distinguish you from all the other women that come across his path? How he's going to know that you're the godly woman chose for him? If you don't even have the attributes of a godly woman. Because I'm going to tell you, a man of God that's really seeking God, that's living for God, he ain't going for Jezebel and Delilah. That's going to turn him off. I know it myself. Certain men approach me, want to ask me out or whatever. They turn me off because I know they're not of God. It has nothing to do with the job they got, the car they got, the house they got, the looks they got. It has nothing to do with his attributes. His attributes. Are they godly? Is he Christ-like? Because however, he ain't gonna be able to treat me like Christ treats the church if he ain't even got Christ's attributes. Not gonna be able to do it. Not gonna be able to do it. So babies, don't try to make the puzzle piece fit where it shouldn't fit. Seek God and not a mate. And he will join you with who you're supposed to be joined to. So much information out here in the world about being single. And a lot of people that's writing this information about singleness and godliness, they haven't even finished up the process. They ain't even began the process. It's a process being single and waiting on God and getting them godly mates. It's a process. Don't let nobody fool you, baby. It's a process. I'm in the process. It's a process that you have to go through. Don't let nobody lie to you and fool you. It's a process. And most people don't want to go through the process. The process is going to make you a better companion. It's going to work on you. It's going to have you self-evaluate yourself to see where you at with God. Will I be able to treat my mate like Christ treat the church? You know, you're going to point the finger at yourself. It's going to work on you. See, most people looking at other people, can they meet my needs? That's that selfishness. Is he going to treat me like Christ treats the church? Am I going to treat him like Christ treats the church? Is he going to love me, take care of me, provide? No, everything about that is selfish. What you going to do? Are you going to be a gift to them? Are you going to love them with all your heart, mind, and soul? Are you going to be able to treat them like Christ treats the church? What are you going to do? A lot of people, the whole process of getting a mate in their life is selfish because just the way they think about it, when they make their little list, if you go down, if you one of the ones that read the list, read your list and see what's on there. And I bet you most of it is selfishness. Did you say how much you gonna love? You want somebody you can love and care for? Did you say that you want somebody you can serve? Did you say that you want? Did you ask yourself what you giving? Everything on your list probably is selfish. Look at it and ask yourself: is this coming from selfishness or servanthood? Because as a mate, you're going to be there to serve. I hope you're ready. Babies, I love you and so does God. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Smooches.